filmic lie that the film is great truths get told within that. It all begins in here, in the most tiniest of ways.
We got a phone call from Nick when him and Warren had just begun working on a new record that was eventually going to become Push the Sky Away. And Nick called and said, look, we're going to start working on this, and we thought maybe you guys could come and film some stuff.
What really happened was that we extended this idea so that Ian and Jane could come into the studio with us, and in the process they recorded some really amazing footage of a record being made. The film really came out of that initial footage of how we could do something with this stuff that they'd filmed and do something that was original with that.
We discussed the kind of film we want to make through understanding the kind of films we didn't want to make. And therefore it felt really important to clear the slate, to kind of reset an audience's expectations and say, all right, here's Nick's life from day 0 to day 19,999, and everything that kind of crammed into it that happened in that time, out of the way, over and done with, slate clean. Now we can make the film we want to make.
And I've been a great collector of my stuff over the years. The writing and all of that sort of stuff, and photographs, for some reason, right from the start, I've always kept, or I've always kind of swept them off the desk into a box or something like that. That stuff feels connected to my soul in some kind of way, so they hold great importance to me. You know, and that's what we're talking about in the film a lot. It's the retelling of things that, for me, feels very necessary. And it's songwriting process and getting up on stage and singing these songs solidify those memories. Fuck, I forgot about that bit.
Well, actually, I've been playing the archivist, or one of 3 archivists, but ironically I am a real curator, sort of pretending not to be an archivist in a not real archive.
Look, I think I'm sending my mother reviews. That's us in Ireland. When we'd kind of, well, when we'd first met, Susie came to, I was staying in Ireland, trying to look after myself in the country, and Susie came to visit. It's a really beautiful photograph, that.
I've been a long-time fan of Nick, and it was thought that I might be able to provide some, perhaps some good information about specific dates and so forth. And what we thought we'd do is perhaps put in front of Nick a range of items from throughout his creative lifetime, ranging from photos to artifacts, put them in front of him and then engage him in conversation.
This was a very original, interesting way of interviewing somebody, you know, to get something, get a different reaction from them.
How long did it take you to put together?
I don't know.
You can't remember?
No. Andrew?
Late 1995, Nick.
1995.
I am acting as a kind of curator for this fictitious collection that we've compiled in this basement.
Those photographs that were shown to me, those bits of tape and little bits of footage and stuff that were shown to me in the archive, these were things that did have an emotional effect on me. They were like looking at a scrapbook that's found in the back of your closet that can kind of unexpectedly reduce you to tears, you know. Can you do the clapperboard, Ray?
Yep. Want to do it now? Okay.
This is cool.
57, take 1. Why is it always pissing down with rain when I come to Brighton?
Today we're going for a drive on the Low Loader with Ray and Kylie and Nick. It's gonna be good.
The car scenes were some of the scariest scenes to film. I think we're beginning to know how to get the best out of Nick. That's about doing things quick, doing things once, never asking too much, never making him do something twice.
All right, we gotta go!
Okay, kid. Hit the road.
All of the complications of filming in a moving car, you know, on top of that, it's a lot. There's a lot going on there. So it's a lot of variables up in the air. You know, you're demanding so much of your crew. Everything has to be right. You've got to get it once. You know, those scenes were shot in 20 to 30 minutes each.
Ray, you got to come out and ADR it all. No one understands what you're talking about.
Well, we could have subtitles under your
Yeah. Nick actually speaks better English than me.
So the film itself is a complete construct. It's artificial, it's constructed, the fictional day in Nick's life. The fictional space side of the film was like a traditional fiction movie set, production designers, you know, that kind of stuff. But then the behavior within it had to be completely real. So long takes, unobtrusive crew work and stuff like that.
All the sets are constructed. It's not really my office. But what happened within that constructed set was very real in the sense that it was ad-libbed. Boy, trying to concentrate.
Just flying for another one whilst everyone's set.
That's me and Kylie. I'm wearing shorts there. Kylie, we just, on the off chance, we got her to sing this song that became this kind of minor hit in its day. She kind of came in this kind of beam of light into our lives for a short time. And it was kind of a beautiful thing to be sitting with her in this way, driving around in this car, you know. It was great.
Do you have a favourite song?
Oh, the
Like-
clap. What's my favourite song?
Yeah, like
Elvis song?
any song. I mean, like one that you...
Slate 60, take one.
Shouldn't we be take two?
Shouldn't it be take two?
Nick's relationship with Kylie is extraordinary because I don't think they see each other a huge amount, really. But when they are together, there's such a beautiful kind of tenderness in that relationship. And it was why we were so keen to have her.
Are you hungry? I'm cooking eels.
You're cooking me eels.
I'm cooking your eels.
Darian's ready to see you now.
We were trying to think of different ways to provoke Nick to respond in a different way to being spoken to, and using things like Kylie and Ray was one way of doing that, but we wanted another way that allowed us to kind of dig deeper but not in a very journalistic way.
It's also difficult not to notice in the book that you make a father's death in a car accident, you make the son there with him, present.
Yeah.
And we just had this kind of hunch that Darian, because of his professional background, but also just through knowing what he's like as a person, would be able to kind of push Nick and know the buttons to press and know when to run with something and not let Nick kind of off the hook, and you know, when something was a dead end and it was time to sort of move on, and that he would have the kind of right sort of vigour and discipline to be able to do that, which I think he did extraordinarily well.
Yeah, he was definitely the right choice, and we trusted him. You know, that's a lot. To play out those scenes unscripted, you need somebody at the helm of them that you trust, so you don't have to keep stopping and starting and guiding, and you know, that you want it to kind of find its sort of rhythm and pace, and for Nick to be able to forget that there's a camera pointing at him, and that it just becomes this, you know, interesting exchange between two people. And we definitely got it. Definitely gets there. There were just moments where you just know it, you feel it in the room when something really honest or emotionally really true is happening.
Yeah. When did you first meet Blixer?
Well, I saw him on TV first. I saw Neubauten on TV, and I'd never seen anything like it in my life.
I actually saw you then at the birthday party on Dutch TV a couple of days later too. The famous one where Tracy fell over and fell with his head in the bass drum. You remember that?
Is that the same TV?
I don't know if it's the same TV station, but it was basically within the same week.
You know, I learnt an enormous amount of stuff from Blixer. I pretty much hadn't seen him since he left the band, but I never really spoke to him since about it. So suddenly we were sitting in a car together, being filmed, you know, and so there was a kind of tension within the car and a kind of love for each other.
Anytime we make a piece of work, we always start with the emotion that we want the person seeing the work to feel. Even if that's an artwork, we start with the emotion we want you to experience when you're watching, when you're in that work, that installation, that film, whatever.
No.
No? You know what I mean?
Cut.
And more.
It's getting closer and closer.
There's something Nick says in the film that I think is a real key to unlocking really what I think the film is about for us in a lot of ways. And it's when Nick is talking about the character that he's created. He's talking to Ray about the idea of reinventing yourself and whether one can do that or whether one would even want to do that. And I think the point that Nick's kind of making is that there is no mask to take away. You know, he is the character that he's created.
We knew right from the start the emotion we wanted to leave you with when you came out of the film, and that is one of, I guess, it sounds trite, but we want to inspire. We want to make you feel the way that Nick makes us feel. His professionalism, his integrity makes you want to be better, makes you want to do more. And we wanted you to come out of the film with that sense, that drive to think, I should just see that idea through, that thing, that novel, that picture, that whatever it is, you know, I should bother, I should make that idea happen.
To see a film that doesn't feel like it's been tampered with, or that vision has been tampered with, that the kind of director's vision comes through in some way. And so I'm kind of blown away when I watch the film because of that. And it's a kind of credit to the people who put this film, the producers and Film 4, that they allowed Ian and Jane just to do the film that they wanted to do. And it's a very strange, perplexing, brave document. You know?
Cut. That was the one. Brilliant.